All right. Just waiting for people to show up. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Welcome to the show. What is your favorite movie of the year and what is the worst movie of the year? Let me know. I mean, it's got to be. Yeah, I think Dune 2, Dune Part 2 is probably the best movie of the year so far. Challengers is pretty good. Civil War is pretty good, but I think Dune 2 is probably. Though I was thinking about horror movies, and I feel like horror movies this year are like I don't want to say it's the best it's ever been, but I mean we've I mean it's May and we had like what 4 or 5 great horror films. That's pretty insane. Granted, I mean the bad news is that they're not making any money, but so I think like Late Night with the Devil didn't make a whole lot at the box office. The first Omen flopped. I think Immaculate didn't do too well. Stop motion barely did anything. But I mean, those 4 movies are pretty damn good. And we still got what? Like, we got Long Legs in July. We have the Strangers prequel in May. And then what else do we have? I'm missing something. Oh, Maxine. We got Maxine. And so Maxine and Long Legs in July. So, I mean, yeah. And I mean, granted, I don't know how much money those movies are gonna make, but in terms of, like, quality, I think this is probably, like, one of the best years for horror. Because I feel like typically there's, you know, 1 or 2 horror movies that come out, and they're, like, bit so, like, last year what was last year was Talk to Me and Evil Dead Rise, but I'm struggling to think of, like, what other horror movies outside of those. Um, but again, like we're in May, and I can name 4 horror movies that are fucking great. So, but again, the shitty part is that, you know, those didn't make a whole lot of money. So, just waiting for people to show up. But we've also got a lot of stinkers this year. I'm trying to think like so Rebel Moon Part 2 was atrocious. And what else? Argyle was a joke. Um Shit, what else? Lisa Frankenstein was fine, I guess. Um, but what's confusing me is that we're not confusing me. What's has me worried is that we're coming into the summer blockbuster season, and yet there isn't like really anything that's big. Well, I guess Deadpool Wolverine is pretty big, but other than that, like, what are the other movies this summer that are going to be big? You know? Whereas, like, last year we had, I think Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Mission Impossible all released within, like, 2 or 3 weeks of one another, And we also had Cross the Spider-Verse. We had John Wick 4. We had Fast and the Furious. We had a Transformers movie. But this year, it's almost like crickets. Like, what is there? Okay. Oh, well, here we got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which will probably make a decent amount of money. Then we got Furiosa, which I'm excited for. And then Inside Out 2, Despicable Me 4, Deadpool Wolverine, and that's kind of it. I mean, it pales in comparison to last year, right? There were so many movies last summer. It was hard to even fucking catch up. And then this summer, it's crickets. So I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll see. I mean, obviously, Deadpool Wolverine is gonna dominate in the summer. And I don't think it really has. I mean, I guess Inside Out and Despicable Me is its competition in terms of box office, but man, there's just not a whole lot to get excited about. And I mean, if I'm being honest, Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm not foaming out the mouth for it as I was for like Oppenheimer and Mission Impossible specifically. But it's because I'm a Mission Impossible super fan. But yeah, there's just not a whole lot coming out this summer compared to last year. I mean, yeah, Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Mission Impossible all released within like what 3 weeks. And we also had Spider Verse, we Indiana Jones, Fast and Furious, John Wick, and this year it's like crickets. I'm trying to think. Okay, you have Deadpool, Wolverine, and Inside Out 2. So yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it's quiet going into the summer. I guess you got Furiosa, which I'm excited about, but is the general audience excited about Furiosa? I don't know. That's a pretty niche film. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will probably do well, but again, it's like none of these. I don't know. This summer just seems so quiet compared to last year. Last year was like massive. Um, and then yeah, this summer I'm like, there's nothing. I mean, aside from I think Furiosa is probably number one, the most I'm excited about. But yeah, Deadpool Wolverine, I hope is good. I'm not like foaming at the mouth for it, but it'll obviously win, the box office this summer. Unless Inside Out and Despicable Me, you know, the family show up. But I imagine that Deadpool Wolverine will win the summer. The only thing that has against it is rated R. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just wish there was more to get excited about as opposed to just Furiosa and Deadpool Wolverine, especially compared to last year. So, I mean, we'll see. I think Long Legs looks interesting. I'm trying to think what else comes out this summer. That the daughter of M Night Shyamalan, I forget her name, but she has a new movie, The Watchers. That could be interesting. Shyamalan has a movie this summer with Josh Hartnett. That looks interesting, but again, these aren't like, are they going to make any money? I don't know. I'm curious to watch them, but like, I can't stress how quiet this summer feels. But so far, so good, I guess. I mean, Doom Part 2 is definitely the standout. Civil War was pretty damn good. Challengers was good. Late Night with the Devil was good. But there's also been a lot of stinkers. Got Rebel Moon Part 2, which was a fucking train wreck. Argyle was whatever. Lisa Frankenstein was fine. Trying to think what else. Although horror, I think horror, surprisingly, we've had a pretty good goddamn year. I mean, we're only in May, and we've had like what Immaculate, Late Night with the Devil, The First Omen, and I'm missing one. Stop motion. Granted, none of these movies made any money, but they're all pretty damn solid. I mean, I can't think of another year where in May we've had 4 solid horror films, and we still got more in the pipeline. We got Long Legs in July, Maxine in July, both of the Shyamalan movies. So I don't know, and this doesn't even count for the horror films that came out during Sundance, because typically those movies, like Talk to Me, something like Talk to Me. I don't know if A24 has a horror film up their sleeve. Um, but yeah, I see one viewer. I got one viewer. What are your favorite movies of the year, or what are your stinkers? I'm assuming it's Doom Part 2, but maybe you have a different answer. Maybe you loved Lisa Frankenstein. Maybe that was a masterpiece. But yeah, I don't know. And then going into fall, I guess we got some stuff, and we got Joker. Is Gladiator 2 coming out this year? I think it is. So we got Gladiator 2. God, what else? The fall seems, I mean, I guess in May, fall is always pretty quiet. The fall movies don't really start ramping up until like September, October. But yeah, this whole year just seems pretty quiet. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I hope all these horror movies. The problem with I'm saying that. I mean, if you're a fan of horror, you're eating good this year. But the 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 bad part is that none of these horror movies that I've mentioned have made any money. Late Night with the Devil didn't do too well. Stop motion probably did even less. Immaculate and First Omen were bombs. So it'd be nice to have, like, maybe Maxine can break the mold and make a shit ton of money. Oh, that's A24. There we go. I guess that answers my question from earlier, is whether or not A24 has a horror movie up its sleeve. It's Maxine. But maybe Maxine can stand out. Maybe Long Legs. Although Long Legs looks pretty fucking weird, so we'll see. But it does have Johnny Cage. It does have Nicolas Cage in it, so maybe that'll boost it. But yeah, it sucks. I mean, we so many good horror films so far, but none of them made any money. Nothing like what's been popular, like Smile. Nothing like Talk to Me. Oh, I just thought of another horror movie. God, it just left. It just popped in my head and then left. Oh, The Strangers prequel. But I doubt that'll make a whole lot of money either. But again, a lot of horror movies this year, which is great. Who doesn't love a good old fashioned horror film? But yeah, in terms of like big budget stuff, I'm not seeing a whole lot to get excited about this summer, other than Furiosa. And although I am pretty excited about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, those prequel trilogy is like criminally underrated. Those movies are so good, and like nobody talks about them. And it's a damn dirty shame. But we'll see if it's good. I don't envy the director of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because he is, if you don't know, he is the guy that's going to direct the Zelda movie. So, and that movie is in pre-production. I don't even know if the script's even done yet, but man, it's gotta, he's got to be a nervous wreck with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because if that movie sucks and is terrible, does he still have a job with Zelda? And B, well, is there a B? I don't know. That's gotta have so much pressure, where that you're gonna be the director of the Zelda movie, and you have a new movie being released, and you hope it's good, and you hope it does a shit ton of money. Because if it doesn't, I don't know. I mean, look at what was his name? Colin Trevorrow for Star Wars. I mean, they got rid of him real damn quick. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes does, and A, just to see if it resonates with audiences, but B, for that director to be like, hey, look, see, I can direct a Zelda movie. Look how good my Apes movie is. But I'm looking forward to that one. I was a fan, like I said, I was a fan of the Caesar trilogy. I think it's the most underrated trilogy maybe ever. Those movies are so good. And yeah, it's just a shame that no one talks about them. So I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, number 1 for me is Furiosa. I mean, that's my most anticipated. That I hope that movie is just as good, if not better, than Fury Road. And I'll be curious to see how it does in the box office. I mean, Fury Road, I think it only made like 150 million dollars, which didn't break the bank. So we'll see if Furiosa does either the same box office or better. I hope it does better, and we get more of these things. But that's the confusing part, is because like I and maybe you are excited about Furiosa. The Twitterverse of Mad Max is nothing but praise and excitement. But is the general audience excited for something like Furiosa? I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty niche film, a series of films. So I don't know how many people are going to show up for it, but hopefully a lot. Hopefully a lot. And I hope it's good. I mean, it has some pretty big shoes to. I mean, Furio is probably one of the best action movies of all time. So it's going to be hard to follow up on that. So hopefully George Miller has some more tricks in his hat. But that movie looks great. I'm actually kind of I want Furiosa and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes to just release already because I'm just sick of seeing the goddamn trailers for every movie I go see. I've probably seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes trailer about, I don't know, 10 to 15 times. Same with Furiosa. Both trailers of Furiosa. So I'm like, just because I'm done watching those trailers for every movie I see, I'm ready for those movies to be released. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think what else. The Fall Guy, I'm gonna go see that tonight. I don't know if you guys have seen The Fall Guy yet, but I'm excited for that. What else? What else is coming out? Again, this is like it's crickets. I'm trying to think what else even came out this year. It's even worth other than like Doom Part Two, Civil War. Although Civil War seems to be pretty divisive, so um, yeah, I don't know. But what do you guys think? I got two people. Two people. What are your favorite movies of the year? What are you looking forward to? Give me some chat love. Let's have a convo. Let's open it up. What movies did you hate? What movies did you love? What movies are you excited about? Are you excited about Furiosa? Are you excited about Deadpool? The Deadpool Wolverine thing, like it's cool that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are finally getting together. They've had like a uh fun, social media beef for many years. So to see them finally like get together and do a Deadpool Wolverine is actually pretty fucking cool. But at the same time, the other part of me is like Logan was such a great ending for that character that like seeing him as Wolverine again is just kind of like, but you had it with the ending of Logan. We were done. We were done with Logan. It was the perfect send off. We don't need to see him again. Just close that chapter, close the Wolverine book, maybe recast him, maybe do something younger, and then they brought him back. But so that's the other part of it. Another part of me is like, this is cool that they're finally getting together, and I'm sure it's going to be great. Um, the chat is slow and broken. Oh boy, this is what happens when you go live for the first time. This is my first live, so I'll be learning. So sorry about that. I apologize that if the something's broken or if I'm slow or if you know I'm all wobbly. I apologize. Like I said, this is my first stream, so I will try and figure it out here. But yeah, so part of me likes that they're getting together, but another part of me is like, man, Logan was such a great ending that why even go back to this well? Um, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll love it. I'm sure it'll be great. I actually just watched Wolverine Origins for the first time, and my God, that movie is one of the worst superhero movies I think I've ever seen. Like that's up there with like Madame Web and what was it? Oh, Morbius. Although to be fair, I think Morbius and Madame Web are worse than Wolverine Origins. But my God, Wolverine Origins was a fucking shit show. Um, and I still need to see The Wolverine. That's the other last like Wolverine movie I need to watch before Deadpool. Did I see Divinity? I did not. I don't think I even know what that is. What is Divinity? Um, but yeah, The Wolverine is the last movie I need to see before Deadpool, and I need to see Deadpool 2. A Deadpool 2 kind of slipped past me, but yeah, I don't know what Divinity is. Um, yeah, Inside Out 2, I'm actually excited for it. The first one's fucking awesome. So hopefully that movie's great. I can't wait to see that. Despicable Me 4, I have no interest. I wonder if the didn't wasn't it Despicable Me 3 where like a bunch of people dressed up in suits and went and watched that movie? Do you think that's gonna happen again? That was yeah, that was Despicable Me. I wonder if that's gonna happen again. Divinity was produced by David Cronenberg. Ooh, all right. You have my attention. Okay, okay. If it's produced by David Cronenberg, I'm all about it, baby. I need to see. I bought. Speaking of Cronenberg, I bought Possessor, and I haven't watched it. I hear that movie's great, which is directed by his son. Um, yeah, I need to get. Maybe I'll watch it this weekend because I hear Possessor is great. I have seen Infinity Pool, which is his second movie. Infinity Pool was fucking wild. What a wild movie that was. But yeah, I need to watch Possessor because I hear that movie is pretty great. But no, I'll look in this Divinity thing. I mean, you have my attention. You have my curiosity, but now you have my attention. The fact that it's produced by Cronenberg. Um, Cronenberg is awesome. I love weird shit, man. We need more directors like Cronenberg to give us like weird stuff that you wouldn't normally see, and make them blockbusters. I want to see a weird ass blockbuster. You know what I mean? Give someone like David Cronenberg $200 million to make a fucking weird ass blockbuster, and that's what I want. Don't pin him down with this indie stuff. Divinity, do you know Benjamin do you know if Divinity is like a horror film? Is it sci-fi? Do you know what genre it is? Because yeah, I'll have to check that out. Well, here, why don't we just do it together? Why don't we just do it together? Divinity, Divinity, Divinity. Duh, duh, duh. Whoa, what's happening? It says 2023. Is it last year? Oh shit. Am I doing a... There we go. Sorry. It's early. Having a brain fart. Divinity movie. I'm assuming it's a 2023 one, right? Is this what you're talking about? It's definitely weird. I'm off to work. See you next stream. Maybe it was last year. Yeah. Okay. So this is the one you're talking about. All right. Well, hey, man. Good luck at work. Stay safe out there. Don't let the man get you down. And thanks for joining me, Ben. And I appreciate the comments on my videos. You've been a great commenter, and I appreciate it. And I will definitely look into this Divinity. This looks centers on two mysterious brothers who abduct a mogul during his quest for immortality. Meanwhile, a seductive woman helps them launch a journey of self-discovery. Yeah, man. I'm all about it. Let's go. Is that Steven Dorff? Oh, shit. Steven Dorff in the building. And Scott Bakula? Let's go. Yeah, man. Thanks for recommending this. I didn't know this was even a thing. Nice. Hell yeah. All right. We'll definitely check that out. Putting that in my queue. Thanks, Benjamin. Appreciate that. I love a good old recommendation. You see me and you hear me and you know my taste. So well done. You know how, like, when people recommend something to you, it's like it's something that they like, and they're trying to like push on you. But sometimes when you recommend something, you have to know that person's taste. You can't just recommend fucking anything. I wouldn't go up to my parents and say, "Oh my god, you have to go watch, Infinity Pool. You'll love it." They're gonna hate that movie. So you have to know. Like, I know my parents love dumb comedies. So if I'm gonna recommend something, I'm gonna recommend like some comedy. I'm not gonna recommend some weird, fucking, surreal indie movie. So I appreciate you giving me the recommendation for Divinity. Never heard of it. It looks great. So thank you for I'll definitely have to check that out. And the fact that it's produced by Cronenberg definitely has my attention. And it's a black and white, weird. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, this looks and the fact that it's Steven Dorff. What the hell is that? Yeah, man, I'm all about this. Let's go. And this came out last year? Okay. Yeah, weird. Eddie Alcazar, is this his first thing? Yeah, it looks like it. He does nothing but black and white, apparently. He has a short that's called Fuck You. Love that. Love that. So, yeah. All right, Benjamin, I think you already took off, but thanks for the recommendation. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for all of the comments and love you give me in my videos. I super appreciate it. I hope the chat is not slow and broken anymore. Like I said, I don't know how to fix that. This is my first stream, so I'm kind of working it out. But yeah, is there anything else you guys are excited for this year? I'm trying to think of what else I've missed. I think that Shyamalan movie looks pretty dope. We definitely need some more Josh Hartnett in our hearts and minds. So it's great to see him kind of resurface in movies and TV again. I thought he was fantastic in Black Mirror. God, what an episode. But yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan movie is it Trap? I think it's called Trap. That movie looks dope. I can't wait for that. And the movie that his daughter is making looks pretty good too. The Watchers or The Watcher. Is it called Trap? Yeah. Yeah, this movie looks great. Is this come out in August, right? If I remember right. I think it comes out in August. But yeah, this movie looks really cool. Give me an hour and a half of Hartnett being a creepy weirdo. I'll take it. I will take it. And what was the other one? I think it's called The Watcher, which is from his daughter. I need to learn her name. What is her name? Ishana? Yeah, this movie looks weird too. We get 2 Shyamalans. We get a daughter Shyamalan and Shyamalan himself this year. That's pretty cool. That is pretty damn cool. Although I don't know which one I wanna see more. I think the idea of Trap sounds better, although this one, The Watcher, seems a little more interesting because I don't really know what it's about. But yeah. And then there's Furiosa. I mean, I hope this movie's good, man. It's 2.5 hours long. Oh my gosh, it's brilliant. Brilliant. But yeah, I hope this movie's great, man. I hope it's great. This is if this movie is bad, that'll probably be the biggest disappointment, um, in like maybe ever. Dude, Fury Road is so good. It is like not only one of the best action movies ever made, it's like one of the best movies, straight up. So I don't know how you follow that up. This one seems like it's gonna be more, man. Seems like it's gonna be more story driven, but which is good. That was kind of a big critique that Fury or not Fury, yeah, Fury Road had was that the story was paper thin. So I think he's gonna explore the world a little more. It probably won't be as, intense as Fury Road was, but we'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll be a 2.5 hour fucking insane fest. Who knows? But they just had their Australian premiere. What was it, yesterday? Um, I don't know when the embargo lifts. I remember the Fury Road embargo lifted, I think the day before. Because I remember specifically being like that week leading up to Fury Road, I was like, "Oh, is it good? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be good? Where are the reviews? Oh man, the reviews aren't here. It's not looking good. Not looking good." And then the day before, it's like 99%. I was like, "Oh shit!" Because yeah, typically when studios hold reviews, man, chat is slow and broken. How do I fix that? Here, how do I? I'll be back. Because typically when like studios, you know, hold the reviews, it's not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. But we'll see. All right, we're gonna test the chat because that person said that the chat was slow and broken. I mean, that seemed to work just fine. So I don't know. But yeah, I can't wait. It's got some pretty big shoes to fill. And I'm trying to think of what else there is. We'll do some Kingdom. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope this is good, and I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, Wes Ball. That's gonna be the guy who's directing the new Zelda, so we'll see how he goes. I like that the text is all green. That's kinda cool. Look at that. How come they didn't do that with Furiosa? Did Furiosa had green text? No. Did it just have white? How come Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has the green text? Furiosa have yellow? Just has the normal blue. I see how it is. Does the Fall Guy have any cool colors? No, just a standard blue. So how come Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes gets that special shit? Maybe Deadpool will have the red. But yeah, I hope this movie's good, man. I hope this movie is good. Yeah, I'm watching all of the old 8 movies, and so far so far so good. The first one the first one is pretty damn solid. That's a pretty damn good movie. It's a little slow in the beginning. They're just kind of walking through the desert. But the moment that Taylor Charlton Heston and his fellow astronauts get captured and taken back to the village, that's when the movie gets really good. Everything before that's a little slow, but once they get to that ape village, it's fucking awesome. And then and I also liked how it ended too. Not even just like the reveal of the Statue of Liberty, but the kind of like the apes know that humans once inhabited, Earth before the apes showed up, and have to keep it secret. I thought that was a pretty cool reveal. Or at least Dr. Zaius knows. I don't know how much of the council knows, but I'm trying to remember if he says like all of them know in terms of like the council or the people who run shit in the village if they know. But Dr. Zaius for sure knows. And then it kind of just ends there, and then you get the Statue of Liberty, which is a dope ending. And then you got the sequel, which is I just put out a review on my channel, and if you have not watched that review, even if you haven't seen Beneath the Planet of the Apes, I highly recommend you check out the review because I kind of break down the madness of that movie and how fucking insane it is. I think even if you haven't seen the movie, I think you could probably still get some enjoyment out of it because that movie is so wild, and I kind of cover like every fucking insane thing that happens in that movie. It's pretty comical. Not just like the video, like not my review. My review is comical, but like it's comical because the movie is so insane. Um, and so insane that I like loved it. it's it's one of those. I kind of touch on this on my review, but um, you know, I like I like sequels that like. Well, let me back up. Like the first 20 minutes of that movie, it seems to be like treading the same story beats as the first one, and um And I was like, "Oh, no, here we go. Fucking another sequel that's just gonna be, like, to redo the same story beats as the first one." And then, like, halfway through the movie, it just, like, becomes bizarro. It, like, becomes completely unhinged and just insane and really swings for the fences, and I kinda loved it. And I appreciate sequels that do that. You know, I'm one of those weird, odd people who likes The Last Jedi and likes, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom because they're so fucking weird and different that, I don't think it's uh, what were people mad? Like, subverting expectations. Like, for whatever reason, people are like, "Oh, they subverted my expectations, therefore, bad." But let me see. Hold on. Let me make sure this is going good again. All right. Teat 2. Teat 2. Um, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think I mean, I'm kind of projecting here, but I'm assuming that a lot of people who go into a sequel, they may not know it, but I think a lot of people want the same thing again, maybe just a little better or like a bigger budget. And then when that movie does something different, there's like a negative reaction to it. And I don't think I don't think that sequels do that are just inherently great. I don't think that's the case at all. I think there are some sequels that swing for the fences that I thought were shit. But with like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, just like Beneath the Planet of the Apes, the first like half an hour of that movie is just the lost world for the most part. A group of people go back to the island. They're trying to, capture what were they trying to capture? I think they were trying to save yeah, they're trying to capture the dinosaurs because the island was gonna explode, a volcano eruption. And so it's for the most part, it's basically the lost world. And I was watching it, I was just like, ugh, this is so repetitive. We've seen the Lost World. We don't need to fucking redo this. Just like you redid Jurassic Park with Jurassic World. Again, there's some differences, but for the most part, it's basically a reboot remake of Jurassic Park. And I thought they were going to do the same thing with Fallen Kingdom, but then the second half of Fallen Kingdom happens, and it's like, what? There's people. There's business tycoon people. Showing up for an auction to buy dinosaurs. And then after that, a dinosaur runs amok in a mansion. It becomes like a monster movie trapped in a mansion trying to get away. Like, that's fucking wild. Oh, and by the way, there's what is it? We can clone humans now? Like, what? Like, that was so unexpected. And I was so like kind of bored and just like, this is stupid for the first 30 to 40 minutes, or maybe the first hour. But then when that second half happens, we get back to the mansion, I was like, "Let's go. This is fucking weird and different." And yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Anyways, the reason why I bring that up is because that's exactly what Beneath the Planet of the Apes is. The first like you know 30 to 40 minutes is just kind of like, okay, we're kind of doing a lot of the same stuff that Planet of the Apes did. But then the second half comes in and it's like, nope, pulls the rug out from underneath you and says like, oh, here's some telepath mutant humans that are living underground, that can use telepathy skills to project weird images out into the world. And oh, by the way, we can take our faces off and we're fucking weird, bald-headed, veiny, deformed mutant people. It's like, this is wild. So I love that kind of stuff. So Beneath the Planet of the Apes was awesome. And then I watched Escape from the Planet of the Apes the other night, and I'm gonna put my review out here pretty soon. I was actually supposed to do it this morning, but I decided to go live instead. Um, that movie, after the first two movies, I don't know, man. It's It was okay. They basically made a safe movie after Beneath. Obviously I wasn't around in the '70s, but I imagine that when Beneath came out, it wasn't received very well, and I'm sure a lot of people got mad at it. So they came back and did a safe, a little more family-oriented Planet of the Apes movie with Escape, which is basically a fish out of water movie. Oh, what if we take Zira and Cornelius and put them in 1970s America, and dude walking around Los Angeles? Isn't this kooky and weird? It's like, ugh. So yeah, did not like Escape from Planet of the Apes. Um, but again, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's echoing the Star Wars prequels, but in terms of like The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, I feel the same way like Beneath Planet of the Apes and Escape, which is that Beneath and The Last Jedi are both polarizing, weird, you know, subverting expectations type of movies. And then because people reacted so negatively to that, the third movies come in and feel completely safe and just like retreading old bullshit. Well, I guess the third Apes movie isn't retreading old stuff, but both of those movies just feel safe and just kind of like bland and boring compared to the ones that came before it, in my opinion. I know a lot of people probably disagree with me in the Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker thing. I think most people would probably flip that. I think a lot of people probably like Rise of Skywalker more, but not me, man. The Rise of Skywalker is so bad it makes Last Jedi look like fucking Citizen Kane. That movie was so bad. But no, I like sequels like that. And I think Beneath the Planet of the Apes is just one of those sequels um that just really goes for it. You know what I mean? Really goes for it. Like I said, just like Fallen Kingdom, just like Last Jedi. I'm trying to think of other sequels that are just like batshit fucking nuts. Um, I don't think that I can't think of any other. Yeah, I don't know. If you have any examples, I'm trying to like go back to like 70s or 80s, like the Lethal Weapon movies. They're not. I mean, that doesn't count. They're just another Lethal Weapon movie. I'm trying to think of like, yeah, drawing a blank. But yeah, anyways, long story short, I'm excited for Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. I hope it's good. Um, and I guess the last one, Deadpool. Are they gonna get nah? They got blue. They should be doing the red. They should be doing that red shit. But yeah, this is probably gonna be the movie of the summer for sure. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, how can it not be? There are so many. Isn't this like the highest rated trailer? Whoa, I got fireworks going off behind me. The hell is going on? Did you guys see that? The fuck? Um, wasn't this like one of the most watched trailers in like the first, what was it, like couple hours ever? So there's a lot of hype for this. I think in terms of box office, it'll probably either be Deadpool and Wolverine or Inside Out 2. Um, the one advantage Inside Out 2 has is that it's not rated R, so we'll see. But there's still a lot of hype for Deadpool and Wolverine. But I think the only thing that's stopping it from being um the box office giant is that it's rated R. I don't know if it'll make like I'm sure it'll make more than Oppenheimer. Well, the thing about Oppenheimer is Oppenheimer had all of the extra theaters. I had the IMAX and the RPXs and the Dolbys. I don't know if Deadpool Wolverine. I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna have some sort of IMAX thing, but the thing about Oppenheimer is that it got people excited to see things in IMAX. I mean, if go back to last summer, how many fucking IMAX screens were sold out for like weeks and weeks and weeks? I don't know if Deadpool and Wolverine will have that same sort of excitement to go see in IMAX. Um, so I imagine if I were to bet, I think Inside Out 2 will probably be the biggest movie of the summer in terms of box office. But I mean, I could be wrong. But like I said, that's the one advantage Inside Out has over Deadpool is that, Inside Out is PG and it's family oriented. So, and Deadpool Wolverine's rated R. So you're limiting your audience already, even though that audience is like excited and foaming at the mouth for it. It's a little different when something's rated R versus something that's rated PG. And Inside Out kind of has a pretty big fan base. A lot of people that saw the original Inside Out now have kids, and they probably want to take their kids to go see the sequel. So we'll see. But I think that it's going to be a battle between Deadpool, Wolverine, and Inside Out 2. The only other curveball would be like Despicable Me 4. That's the only other movie I can think that may top this summer, but I don't that may even be of a stretch. If all those fucking suit people show up, that may be a thing. That was Despicable Me, right? When all those people showed up in suits. Yeah, that was the last one. So, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know if I don't think Furiosa will I mean, the first I think Fury Road. Get out of here. I think Fury Road only made like 130, $140 million at the box office. So I don't know how well Furiosa is going to do, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other movies I want to cover. Oh, what's the God, what's that movie called with Tom Hardy and Austin Butler? The fucking biker gang movie. That could do okay. I hope Maxine does really well. That movie deserves fucking all of the monies because Pearl and X are phenomenal. And apparently that trailer is pretty good. People are saying that trailer is like one of the best trailers of the year. So we'll see.